Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to episode number 492 of NoDQ&A video as we draw closer to 500 videos here on NoDQ.com as well as the YouTube channel and NoDQ&A videos affiliate ringsidenews.com. Before we get started here, I wanted to give a quick plug for Wayne Needham's new project. Wayne Needham, former NoDQ&AV announcer for the old video game league that was featured here on NoDQ.com. Wayne Needham has his own Roku channel. It's called Ring Scoops. You can search for it on your Roku device, or you can go to ringscoops.com for more information. But he has a lot of cool stuff on there, various wrestling content, videos, all sorts of things. So check that out at ringscoops.com or search for Ring Scoops on your Roku device. With that out of the way, let's get down to your questions now. First one today from Joao Philippe 315. Hey Aaron, with the post of Summerslam and the rumors that John Cena will face Brock Lesnar, do you think that this is good or bad? Last time Cena won and it really took away from Lesnar's momentum after a big return. What do you think? I saw the poster just like everyone else on Amazon.com with Brock Lesnar and John Cena on it. It doesn't necessarily guarantee that this is going to be the SummerSlam main event, but definitely wouldn't surprise me with Daniel Bryan possibly injured through SummerSlam. He might not be back in time. All that's up in the air. So when you look at the current WWE roster, it makes logical sense to do John Cena versus Brock Lesnar, have that big rematch, and I'm all for Brock Lesnar getting his win back over John Cena. I do not think that this match should be for the title. As I've mentioned in previous videos, I think that SummerSlam is too soon for Brock Lesnar to win the WWE World title unless he is going to be wrestling more and he will be working more dates. In that case, you can make an argument for him winning the title at SummerSlam and being a dominant champion until WrestleMania. But if it was me calling the shots, I would do Brock Lesnar versus John Cena at SummerSlam, have Brock Lesnar destroy John Cena, and then at the Royal Rumble, Brock Lesnar wins the WWE title, defends it at Elimination Chamber, and then loses it at WrestleMania to somebody like Roman Reigns. To me, that would be an excellent way to catapult somebody like Roman Reigns to the next level and really put the stamp of approval on him, the guy that won the WWE title at WrestleMania from the guy that ended Undertaker's streak and the guy that beat John Cena at SummerSlam. To me, that makes a lot of logical sense. So I'm fine with the match. The match was awesome, the first one that they had at Extreme Rules. So, I'm not worried about this being a good match. I think it'll be an excellent match, and, I'm all for it. All right, another question here. Do you think that Dean Ambrose's new attire doesn't match with a main event spot in WWE? I believe that Vince McMahon wouldn't want a guy wrestling with jeans to be WWE champion. What do you think? I am definitely not a big fan of Ambrose's current attire. To me, it reminds me of Jimmy Wang Yang, and I think that he actually needs some real wrestling gear, not coming out in street clothes. So I definitely think they need to change it. As far as everyone else goes in the Shield, Seth Rollins with his, I don't even know how to describe it. Somebody mentioned a superhero that he looked like. I don't really have any issues with that. And Roman Reigns, I also think he should have regular gear and not wear the SWAT gear. But, I definitely think they need to change it up and they need to actually have some real gear and not be lazy about it and have these guys coming out in street clothes or variations of what they were already wearing with the Shield. I think that they need to do something different at this point. All right, this one comes from David Dude 316. Hey Aaron, what did you think about Wade Barrett getting injured at the SmackDown taping, and who do you think will replace him if he needs to be replaced? Please answer in video. I am feeling really bad for Wade Barrett right now. I mean, this is a terrible time for him to be getting hurt. He has been building up some momentum as of late, and prior to the injury, I saw him as a dark horse candidate to win Money in the Bank. Perhaps if WWE didn't want to go with Seth Rollins or Dean Ambrose, you could have Wade Barrett win the match and build him up for the future. So, I think that this is just awful timing, and it just really sucks for him. And I'm hoping it's not a severe injury. because if he's gone for a while, I've talked about this in other videos, you know, once you lose your spot, if you're not a top level guy, it's hard to get that spot back. And Wade Barrett is a guy who, you know, for the longest time wasn't being used, and you know, he had the Bad News Barrett segments that weren't really gaining any momentum for him. But then things finally started to pick up. He started getting matches on television. He got the IC title. He got a spot in Money in the Bank, and then he gets hurt. So I'm really hoping he'll be back as soon as possible. And as far as a possible replacement, I mean, I really have no idea. You can just have 7 guys or whatever, not have 8 guys. I don't even know how many guys are in the match. 7, 8, whatever. I mean, they don't necessarily need to replace him in the match. Just have the guys that they already have. All right, this one comes from Mario LOL11. Hey Aaron, keep up the good work. Thank you for that. What are your thoughts on TNA Bound for Glory being in Japan this year? Is it good for business or bad? Well, considering the fact that they can't draw in the United States, they might as well do something different. Now, the one issue here is the expense. Trying to run a show in Japan is obviously going to cost a lot more money than running a show in the United States. So time will tell if it's a good business decision or not. I mean, they're obviously going to need to sell some tickets, first of all, and we'll see what happens. From what I've heard, it's like a 2,000, 3,000 seat building, so it's not that big. So who knows if it's going to be a good business move or not. At least for the fans, it will be entertaining. It will be something different that we haven't seen in TNA. So on that note, you know, I'm fine with them, you know, changing pace here and doing something different. And it should be an entertaining show. And the other question is, how is it going to be handled on pay-per-view? Are they going to have a tape delay? Or are they going to try to air it live and tape the show at a weird time in Japan? I mean, that's another question that I have about it. But regardless of the case, it should make for a very different atmosphere, and at least they're doing something. But like the 6-sided ring, this doesn't change the issues in TNA. You know, it doesn't turn around the company. So you know, on that note, it's not going to really make that much of a difference. All right, this one comes from Kevin3011. Hey Aaron, do you think that when Daniel Bryan returns, more and more people won't really care now that Ambrose and Reigns are major faces? Well, that remains to be seen. I mean, it's very possible that this injury will hurt Daniel Bryan in the long run and he'll lose momentum. I mean, time will tell. When he comes back, it'll be interesting to see how the people react to him. But I also think if WWE books him well when he returns, that he should be able to get a similar reaction to when he left. And you know, people are still doing the yes chants on Raw. There were some reports that he didn't get a very good reaction when his picture was shown on the big screen at Raw, but that's very different from him actually coming out in front of a live crowd. So we'll see what happens when he returns. But I think a lot of it will depend on how WWE portrays him when he returns. They could drop the ball here, and you know, that might hurt his momentum. So we'll just have to wait and see. It's really hard to say at this point. All right, this one comes from TittyMaster316. Have you heard of Josh Matthews' apparent release from WWE, and what do you think about it? Well, I do run NoDQ.com, so yes, I have been notified of Josh Matthews' release from WWE. And as far as that goes, I mean, it's a budget cut, so it is what it is. And honestly, I don't really pay that much attention to the announcing situation, and I wasn't even aware that he was still doing shows, and that just goes to show you how out of the loop I am with that. You know, I'm not even sure what he's been doing lately, if he does the pre-shows. I haven't even been following the pre-shows, so you know, I'm not sure who they're going to have replace him, but you know, there's I'm sure they'll find somebody that will work cheaper than him that they can have take that spot. So you know, he's been around for a long time in WWE, but at the end of the day, when WWE needs to make cuts, they're going to have to make the business decision and let go of somebody who's been there for a long time, and bring in somebody who will work cheaper. All right, this one comes from Josh Tracy 93. Hey Aaron, long-time viewer, first-time asker, please answer in video. Do you think that a Kane versus Brock Lesnar match would be better than last year's match between Taker and Lesnar? And would you like to see this match? I mean, first of all, there's a lot of issues with this match. The biggest issue is the way Kane's been portrayed as of late. I really feel that the whole corporate Kane thing did not do him any favors, and WWE would really need to build up Kane a lot, I think, for him to be a credible opponent against Brock Lesnar. You do have the storyline where he can try to get revenge for his brother Undertaker. So, I mean, you could do the match. And the other big issue is, from a technical standpoint, I can't really say that it would be better than the Undertaker-Brock Lesnar match. I have my serious doubts that, from a technical standpoint, that match would be any good. I think that they would need to have a lot of gimmicks and a lot of smoke and mirrors for that match to be entertaining. I just don't know if the two of them would be able to deliver a decent match. So, I'm not so sure about that one. I mean, you could do it because of the storyline, but I don't know if that means you should do it. All right, got a few more here. This one comes from RKO Go to Sleep. Hey Aaron, will the WWE make the ladder match for the world title part of Money in the Bank from now on, or is this just a one-time thing? What is your thought if they did? Keep up the good work. My guess is that this is just a one-time thing because of the situation with Daniel Bryan being injured. I'm guessing that next year, unless they do a brand split again and they separate the titles, that there'll probably just be one Money in the Bank match. I definitely think two matches with two briefcases when there's only one title is not necessary. So I don't think that they should do it unless there's two titles or there's another situation that comes up where the title needs to be put on the line. But I don't see this becoming a regular thing. All right, final question from Rogue Hollow. Hey Aaron, been watching since episode 1 and my first time asking. Could you see Dean Ambrose winning the Money in the Bank contract, Roman Reigns winning the title, then down the road Ambrose cashing in on Reigns and turning heel? I talked about this in the previous video, but the question was regarding Seth Rollins winning and then cashing in on Roman Reigns. I don't see Dean Ambrose turning heel at this point. I believe that Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns are going to both be faces for the time being, and the Seth Rollins-Dean Ambrose feud will continue after Money in the Bank. So I don't see any kind of real heel turn, and the current direction appears to be Ambrose and Rollins, and then you have Roman Reigns against Randy Orton and probably Triple H at SummerSlam. So that's a direction I see them going in, and as I mentioned in the previous video, I think that cashing it in the same night on the winner of the WWE title match would just be too much. It would just be overkill. All right, that'll do it for this edition of NoDQ&A video. I will see you guys next week. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for all the very latest regarding Money in the Bank, and thank you for watching.